Hi, good morning, Andrew Lau. I'm Lo Shu President, and I'm so happy that we have a chance to talk to you again regarding on quite a bit of message that we've been doing to help you to better understand diabetes issue or pre-diabetic issue, and what can you do to help you to improve your health. And I think this is a really important, webinar all the time that I have received so many phone call and also email and message, WhatsApp, and people has really felt that, wow, you know what you have given on the webinar can be very, very helpful with many of the issue that they might face. At least they're alerted to say, hey, I need to go see the doctor or maybe have this fixed. So I think what we providing is very good, helping you all have a better understanding what is coming if you are pre-diabetic diabetes, or you don't even get that if you have high cholesterol, and what is the next step if you have high blood pressure, what will be the next step when you're pre-diabetic, what is the next step. Now this is really important. Let me share with you a story. One of my client who actually started off with actually just high cholesterol, and very soon they moving to high blood pressure. Now, doctors start saying, hey, you have high blood pressure, you need to start taking medication. And unfortunately, things happen and forgot to take medication, and they got a minor stroke. Lucky is not severe yet, but another family friends that I had previously had forgot the medication and had a severe stroke, and that is really detrimental. Costs a lot for taking care. Have to hire, actually home care people to really 24 hours care. So you don't want to be in that boat. That's why I thought that would be important to let you folks understand what is so important to understand your blood pressure and what you understand the cholesterol. And then also at the end of the day, you have to understand why pre-diabetic is so important to not to go further high with high blood pressure, high blood sugar to get into diabetes. So you don't want any of these. You want to be continue get yourself maybe in the pre-diabetic stage if you're if you're diabetes. If you're pre-diabetic now, you can get back to the normal stage. The key is you just got to work on it. It will work. So let's start the webinar today. We'll go from there. All right, now we're all set up now to basically get everybody in. Now, really today the lecture will be understand essential hypertension. And you say, wow, why I want to really focus, to get a better understanding of high blood pressure. Is it really that important? To be honest, it is extremely important, because if you don't taking care of it, it's like a silent killer suddenly come up, and then you didn't know and you're not prepared, and you might end up have very, very severe medical issue that comes into you, and you might not even know about it until suddenly it happened, and then that's too late, and you have all kind of medical expense and also disability. That's not what you want to do. Okay, so let's start. Okay, we were talking about what is hypertension and why, it's so important to understand hypertension, and what is the risk factor that you cause you to get hypertension, and why hypertension is called a silent killer, and some of the practical tips to help you to managing and preventing of hypertension, and how to prevent this, hypertension crisis and get worse, and how those shooters can help you. And so at the end of the day, we'll conclude, and so get you the key point to remember, and then you can actually continue to watch. That's why all my lectures or all my webinar is all geared to help you give a lot of preventative information, and you can able to empower you to do better, to monitor it, and so you won't get into serious health problem. And that's what my mission is going to be. And so I hope that you can take this webinar. It's all free, and you should listen to it, and then so you go from there. Now, I noticed today we have a lot of people that who I do not know. In the screen here, there's a lot of people from Canada, USA, and also from Hawaii and from Southeast Asia. So I'm going to go through the 4 steps of how you get your into diabetes, the 4 stages. And everybody pretty much go through the 4 stages. The first stage is when your LDL cholesterol goes up. And when the LDL cholesterol goes up, will damage the B cell, which is the pancreas come up with the B cells to take sugar to the cells. So B cell damage and more sugar cannot go into the cell. It will circulate in the blood, your systemic blood system. So LDL cholesterol, blood sugar get together, the blood become thick. And that's where your problem is going to start. When the blood becomes thick, you're going to start form plaques everywhere in the vessel. So very quickly, you will move yourself to stage 2. Now, imagine this. When you have plaques all over the place, in initial stages, okay, you don't get a lot. But as time goes on, get more and more, it's going to be very serious. It plug up your brain, it cover your heart, and that's a problem. That's what really diabetic, really all the issue is. Everywhere you get plaques, plugs everywhere. So really, when your blood pressure goes up, the sad part is you have no pain, nothing, so you are not aware of it, and you continue the same lifestyle, more and more plaque will form, and eventually you are moving to stage 3, you are not getting to a pre-diabetic stage. Now, pre-diabetic stage is every doctor will measure the same thing. How do you recognize yourself as a pre-diabetic? They will measure a thing called HbA1c. Everybody have a hemoglobin, and they would measure the amount of percentage of sugar attached to this hemoglobin. If you're 5.7%, you are a normal person. Anything below, you're normal. Anything above 5.7 to 6.4, now you become a pre-diabetic. Now, in pre-diabetic state, doctor usually, when you find out a lot of times, this is by accident, either by your annual checking, health check. And if you're 40, 50 years old, a lot of think that you say, hey, I should be very healthy. But a lot of people now, if 40, 50 years old, already pre-diabetic stage. And this is the time you have to really start working, because you have a chance to turn it back to not to pre-diabetic. Now, unfortunately, you really have to change your lifestyle during this time. In other words, you have to change your diet, you have to exercise, losing your weight. All these will change the HbA1c that get down back to below 5.7. Now, there's no medication because you are not diabetes yet. So one thing can help you is drinking low sugar tea. Low sugar tea definitely will help you to lower your A1C. If you are 6.4 or 6.3, whatever, they lower it down to close to 5.7, even below 5.7. And so this is something that you can actually to act for yourself. If you do not do anything, because you will feel no pain, no symptom, majority of these people will have no problem at all, same lifestyle. So in 2 to 3 years, you can potentially change to what? Diabetes, the stage 4. So once you get a stage 4, unfortunately, you are now permanent diabetes. You're not going to turn it back. So really, very important, you have to look at yourself. You are pre-diabetic. You need to really work on to prevent you to go further. In the world, there's 1.5 billion people with a B that's pre-diabetic. So in certainly the world has 438 million people with diabetes. So you don't want to be in that group. You want to make sure continue to be pre-diabetic and to also lower. Okay. So I hope that you can understand the 4 steps, and we'll move on. Now, you might ask why you want to take low sugar tea. Well, low sugar only 2 things. It's not a drug. It's a drink. It's a food item. There are guava leaves inside, which is delayed absorption of sugar entering the blood vessels. So less sugar in circulating in your blood vessel. And the second thing, you have bitter melon in there, which increase the insulin sensitivity, take back the sugar into the cells. The magic about bitter melon is any excess sugar, cholesterol, and sodium will be dumped up through the urine. And when sodium go down, your blood pressure will go down. So net result, it will help you to lower your 3 high. So this is really a magic food, a drink. And all you got to do is drink tea. And now, certainly we are not here to just say, hey, you drink a tea. We also provide you webinar to teach you about how to control your diet, meaning that how you can get low carb diet, low fat diet, how can you do your exercise 10,000 steps a day, how do you control your weight, make sure you're 30 BMI, you got lower to 23, how do you do that? And also we have Dr. Webinar, it's free of charge to you. Every week we'll give you one webinar to give you additional knowledge so you can empower yourself to really get aware what is all this issue of diabetes, and so you were able to understand and move on to a more healthy lifestyle to make sure that you keep your A1C below 5.7, or if you have diabetes already, below 6.4. And certainly we'll have a system to teach you how to do daily blood tracking, understand the weight, understand the step you go on, and so on. So let's talk about hypertension now. Now, typically, you may understand, wow, what is really hypertensive nowadays? So first of all, hypertension is a condition that you basically, your artery either become thicker and the wall, your blood will come through, go through this, there's a remaining pressure in the blood vessels and the heart pump, systemic pressure coming up, and then go to remaining pressure again. So basically, the blood pressure and the blood vessels, the artery wall is understand what is the blood pressure there. And what you have anything over 130 over 80, then you are hypertension already. 130, your systemic blood pressure is 130, diastolic blood pressure is 80. You are anything above that is considered a hypertension already, okay? Now, so you must looking at your target, your blood pressure has to be less than 120 over 80. So in other words, if you're over, you basically at 118, 120 is good. And your diastolic blood pressure is 80 and lower is good. So this is the target that you always want to maintain, okay? So certainly, some people getting older, but you cannot go over 130. Your blood pressure should not go over 130, okay? Now, when you always have high blood pressure, what's going to happen? Now, this long-term impact of hypertension, first of all, is definitely affect all your arteries, all the vessels, and then you will have increased risk of stroke, basically. Secondly, is also increased damage your heart muscles, and then that result you end up with potentially heart attack and heart failure. And over time, also when your artery is always continued high blood pressure, lead to all different type of other disease besides your potential stroke and heart disease. They also affect your kidney disease and other health problem. So although when you have hypertension, you don't have any feeling, but it does create an issue for all your entire body in the sense that potentially you got a heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, your kidney doesn't work. Wow, that is something that you don't want to be there, right? Okay, so there's two types of hypertension, okay? Basically, one is you continue to have this chronic high blood pressure and it is not associated with any medical issue, okay? And basically, a lot of people have this type of hypertension cases. However, there's another cases of hypertension is you actually have some medical related issue, typically with like kidney, artery, heart, endocrine is like, diabetes issue. That is something that we need to address. Like a lot of people don't realize you have sleep apnea, meaning that you snore a lot and your air pipe are plugged into your airway, and the blood pressure at nighttime will goes up tremendously because you can't breathe. So the body will say, hey, you got to breathe. And so sleep apnea is one driver to increase your blood pressure. Thyroid disease is diabetic complication is lots of them is big time. Kidney disease, also big time. And last but not least, aneurysm, meaning that your heart maybe has the vessels with the aneurysm, with a bubble of blood vessels hardened and ready to burst. Wow, that would be a serious issue. So all these are the second type, the thing that we really need to look at, and maybe with certain beside your treatment, but your lifestyle change could help you to do that. So what is the cause of hypertension? Now, certain age is a big difference. If you are getting older, your blood vessel become less flexible, and then you will have a high chance of increase of blood pressure. Now, don't forget, if you are 50, 60 years old, if you have a lifestyle that's not really too healthy, the chances of you being hypertensive is high, okay? Secondly, is genetic, meaning if your parents have hypertension, you most likely have hypertension, or grandparents, whoever. So genetics is something that is part of your family. And so you need to basically check whether your mom has hypertension, and maybe you have. So you have to start monitoring that. The lifestyle factor is also very important. Like, for example, you are a person that is very stressed, continue work very late, your diet is very poor, every day you eat pizza, McDonald's, you don't have activities like exercise, walk around, you smoke, you drink a lot of alcohol, and your work is stressed like hell. Now that will give you a tremendous chances to hypertension. In fact, I know a lot of very successful business person. Unfortunately, they really, because of the workload is so stressed, they sleep late, they don't exercise, and the diet is, they send got a lot of restaurant food. Many of these people have high hypertension and high, risk of hypertension. And unfortunately, when they find out, wow, they will have some very serious health issue before they found out. Certainly, there's also chronic conditions such as we mentioned earlier, with diabetes, obesity, sleep apnea, kidney disease. All these can create you hypertension. Now, certainly people who are making certain medication like contraceptive, over-the-counter decongestion, all these drugs maybe also increase the hypertension. Now, if you have hypertension, some of them have no symptom. But if you have some symptoms, that's something that you might want to really work on it real quick. Maybe actually go to a hospital to get treatment immediately. For example, you have severe headache. You're now getting dizzy. You're getting chest pain. You have blood in urine. You have shortness of breath. Your nose bleeding. Now you're confused. You're fatigued. You blur vision. Your irregular heartbeat. Now, all these things, this is really noticeable symptom that you need to go to hospital. It's not something that I can wait. There's no waiting, So if you have this kind of symptom, you should start actually go to check in hospital like emergency ER, so you can able to immediately understand what is the essence. Because if you do not, you could have a stroke, you could be a heart attack, especially a chest pain, shortness of breath. These are symptoms that it doesn't belong just going to wait a couple of days for a doctor appointment. That go to ER, emergency hospital right away. So do call ambulance or take a taxi right away. Whatever you do it fast, okay? Now, why sometimes people say, hey, hypertension is a silent disease. It can kill you, but on the other hand, why I don't know about it, Now, when the hypertension, unfortunately, it kind of hit you suddenly, because in your hypertensive crisis in an early stage, meaning your blood pressure is like 140, 150, 160, even go up to 170, you might not have no symptom, or you will not feel anything. You don't feel chest pain, but you are continue getting worse and worse and worse. So when you get up to 200, now you're going to have feeling headache, chest pain, dizziness, all that's are coming. So, and also could be done very fast. So that way, you really have to actually understand, if you have just for a while, you already have 160, 180 blood pressure, but you do not feel much, but suddenly when it hits you, you're going to get a headache, chest pain, feel dizzy, and palpitation attached. That you really gotta now look at going to doctors right away or going to hospital right away. So it depends on severeness. So remember this. That's why if you don't take care, might be suddenly be chest pain, dizziness, and also shortness of breath. You might have a heart attack. If you're not get into the doctor or going to an emergency room fast enough, you could have died. Okay, so the next question you may ask is, well, how do we solve this hypertensive problem, or what tips do I have to prevent me to go all the way up to 180, 200? Well, first of all, you have to have a very healthy diet, meaning that you have to eat low salt diet, high in fruits, vegetable, whole grain, and lean protein. Now, importantly, if every day you like to eat McDonald's, or every day I get a fatty T-bone steak, well, that's something that might not be healthy, because you got to have a lot more fiber, low salt, a lot of fruits, vegetables. If you don't have that, you also lead yourself to that hypertensive problem. And you also have to, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, that maintain a healthy weight is very important. Your waist, here has to be also lower, because if you have high overweight, you pop belly, drink a lot of beer, all these will lead you to hypertension crisis. So you need to lose weight. You have to maintain your body weight to at least 23 BMI. I know it takes work, it takes time, and with that, I can assure you, if you lower your weight, your blood pressure will go down. So important is your weight. It is so important to lower. Now, certainly you have to have regular exercise, meaning you have to have brisk walking. If you cannot, you have swimming, cycling, or Step Master can be very good. Where you buy a Step Master, it's very inexpensive nowadays. $50 US, Hong Kong, and $300 Hong Kong dollars. You get a Step Master. You do it while watching your favorite TV show, and all you do with a barbell, you go up and down like this, and go this way with a barbell, and then you can walk half an hour. You already lower about 300 calories. So this is something that you should do. You can do it every day. Now, so if you smoke, you got to quit smoking, because smoking actually increases hypertension and also bad for your heart, okay? And you have to limit your alcohol consumption. If you like to drink a lot of beer, a lot of hot liquor, hey, come on, take that off. You can do 1 glass of wine, or half a glass of wine in the lunch or dinner, half a glass. So you make it to 1 glass. That would be really good. Now, stress is also important, because stress actually moves up your hypertension. I mean, it really does. So if you're really stressed, what can you do? You basically, first of all, you have to meditate, deep breathing, exercise. One of the things that I found that in, Chinese medicine, they said massage here, going down with your 2 thumb, this finger, massage here, coming down, bring it through here, bring it down here, and then move forward. That relaxes you, and your blood pressure will naturally come down very quickly. So you can do deep breathing at the same time you do this massage. You're stressed, and you can actually do this. It will help you tremendously to lower your blood pressure and improve your overall well-being. Now, that is something that you can do, and this is something that is easy to do. Deep breathing, very easy, right? And then when you do this, massage here is also very easy. You just massage, go around and massage, and then come down. Bang, you get it done. So very easy, and you just continue to practice that. So how can you really prevent the essential hypertension from getting worse? Now, certainly you have to also measure your blood pressure regularly. What does a regular mean? meaning in the morning when you wake up, blood pressure, and before you go to sleep, also blood pressure if measure. If you have a blood sugar cuff at work in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, you can do one too if you can. If not, morning and after is very important. Now you have to also avoid a lot of processed food like hot dogs, for example. A lot of things that is really salty is not very good for you. And you have to, very important, maintain a better weight. As I mentioned, you have to do exercise. And what you do is your step master, walking, go to walk every day with 10,000 steps. Those are the things that really help you. Now, a lot of people who have hypertension really do require the hypertension drugs. Whatever the doctor give you the drugs, go take it. Don't miss the drug. Because I can tell you a lot of bad story. Really, the patient forgot taking the drugs, end up take a stroke or heart attack. And you don't want to be in that boat. Because it really, if you are getting older, forget your hypertension drugs is dangerous. Because you can potentially get a stroke. And you have a stroke, my goodness, very highly physical damage. And you could have died. You could have, end up in a care home. Don't put yourself in that boat. And you can also limit your caffeine drinks. Like, for example, don't drink lots of coffee. A lot of people drink 5, 6 cups of coffee a day. Then you have to cut it up. Maybe 1 cup, that's it, okay? Now, certainly drinking low sugar tea definitely help you lower your blood pressure because what it does is it dumps salt away out from your urine. So when the salt goes down, you know what? Your blood pressure will go down. Plus, low sugar tea will also lower your blood pressure. Besides lower your blood pressure, lower your blood sugar and also blood LDL cholesterol. Now, that is really good. So continue to think about how to make this prevention. Okay, now, why low sugar tea can help you? Because it does help you to lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. And inside there's just only 2 things. It's guava leaves and bitter melon. It's not a drug. It's just a tea drink. Now you have tea. It's just only a drink with 2 food items in there, guava leaves and bitter melon. And will definitely help you to solve your high blood sugar issue, solve your blood pressure issue, and solve your bad LDL cholesterol issue. So in conclusion, So in conclusion, we understand that essential hypertension there are 2 types of issue in hypertension. One, it doesn't relate to any medical issue. You just have it. And there are some people really have that problem. But a lot of them also including is actually medical issues such as apnea, diabetes, kidney disease, all that are related medical issue. And certainly a lot of times that in hypertension, you have no symptom. And that is a major silent killer. So if you do not have symptom, you find out you have hypertension, then you have to go to the doctor's office at a time to maybe get drugs to prevent you have continued hypertension. And you have to manage it along the way, because if you don't take care of it, even though you might change your lifestyle, because your condition will just somehow, you are the person have hypertension without the drug itself, just maybe lifestyle change might not necessarily give you the complete resolve to hypertension. So you have to get the doctor to continue to check with you. Now, certainly there are other issues that it cause you hypertension because of age, could be genetic factor, could be also environmental influence, the lifestyle choice, you're a very busy executive, stress all the time. Yes, those are conditions will cause you to have hypertension. You have to know hypertension is potential a silent killer, and it'll give you a symptom that at that time it started off maybe had no symptom at all. Eventually, suddenly it comes with dizziness, headache, shortness of breath. All that will basically require you immediate medical attention. So really, if you check you have hypertension, you got to check with the doctor. Do I need medication to prevent my hypertension? You have to exercise, lower weight, diet change lifestyle, all that will help you to prevent this hypertension. So really, with your change your lifestyle, your health lifestyle, food, exercise, manage stress, and regular checkup will definitely help you to prevent your essential hypertension. And really, you want to make sure you take this step to lead you to have significant better health rather than when you have truly a high hypertension crisis and then you really crash and end up you'll be not healthy because you have a stroke, you have a heart attack, you're going to have a bad kidney disease. All that could be prevented. Okay, so I hope that you have a good lecture today and better understanding what is hypertension all about. I'm very happy to you can write to me any question. Write Andy, ANDY at WAHFONG.com, or give me a WhatsApp call, which is 852-6792-8891. So that way, any question at us will help you to answer. A lot of people do write to me and give me comments about how they appreciate the webinar and also help them to better understand all the issue related to your health, like hypertension, bad cholesterol, like LDL cholesterol elevated, and also your blood sugar. And so hopefully if you have all three high and normal level, the chances for you to get very bad health issue will be tremendously minimized. Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for spending time with us to listen to our webinar. I see you next week. And remember, check your blood pressure and be good health. Take care. Thank you very much.